right. I wasn't going to do this video, but kind of got inspired a little bit because there's a guy on here. His shop is incredible. And I don't really talk a lot on some of these things. I don't really laugh, cut up. And I'm kind of I'm in a good spot in my life. I'm in a real bad spot in my life, just dealing with all the medical issues that we're dealing with, and it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad. And it's just kind of a nutty situation. You just kind of deal with it and go on. And sometimes I get stuck for words. I'm getting the radiation in the brain. It's kind of going about every 3 months, and they're taking lesions out. And as they do that, it really gets to me. I'll have good days and bad days, and sometimes it takes 2-3 weeks to get over it. But I figured I'd go over kind of what I'm doing now. So main doors right here when you walk into the pew shop, and this is kind of what you're seeing. Got displays and gun cabinets, but this wall right here, I really wanted to do something pretty cool on it because I've got all the deer heads and stuff going around, and they're all kind of watching all the time. And I kind of wanted something bright, cheerful. So this is kind of what I come up with, and I wasn't gonna show making it, but I think I will now, just because of talking to the fella, and he's like, you just need to do it and talk and show them. And so me and old Scully here, he's kind of in awe, but this is what we're doing. This is gonna be the gun display area, and I'm gonna get a couple pieces cut and temped in where I can kind of show you what we're gonna be doing, and then it'll kind of go together pretty quick. But I'll be back here and we get everything prepped. All right, let me show you what I come up with. All this wood, this was left over on a job. I actually bought the 3 sheets of plywood. I've had them for a while. But all this wood we've had, it's big, thick, old stuff. Some of them are thicker than, like this guy is super big, cool old board. So are the ones that are going up. Kind of gonna make this look just like old timey. And I'm gonna kind of show you what I've done. These boards on the front right here, these guys will kind of be your little counter, and then I want to step up and then to go back this way, and it's going to rest on this. And I'll show you, I've already got them kind of put together. I'll show you what we got here. But this side is going to match that side, and then we're going to fill this in. But one thing that we have to remember is center of the plywood is not center. Our center is about right here. We're a couple inches off from being full, well, about an inch, because this piece here, that plywood goes all the way to the wall, then that board butts up against it. Well, then down here, this is on the end of the plywood. So it's kind of got a little bit of a gap, but we'll fill that in. This thing's gonna look pretty cool. The coolest thing is we're making this all out of scrap. The only thing that'll be purchased is this, and we actually had the green paint. My other shop has got the green paint. We had to I had to raise this one up in order to match. So these two have a little piece of plywood, 3/4 inch plywood underneath of it. This guy, I still haven't quite made up my mind on him yet. I know where he's going, but I don't know. These little things are heavy too. He's gonna go right here. But I don't know if I want it back and then curve the edges and I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. But I'll go ahead and show you the next step, because this piece really doesn't matter at this point. But what I've done is we had some old flooring, and I'll get a better look when we get over here. It's kind of got a green, an old hunter green type paint on it. This stuff come out of an old building downtown Knoxville. It's 100-year-old easy. It was like in the 1890s, I think. But so I mean, it's big wood. You can see the saw marks on it. It's beautiful. If you cleaned it up, but what I've done is the lip on this tongue and groove, I want to set it right on the edge of this thing. And it's going to go right there. And then what I'm going to have to do is cut the tongue off right here from this point. So that's kind of how it's going to look. And when you put the pews up there, they're going to be lined this way. And then on this side, they're going to be lined this way. I have the same setup for these. Then the middle is going to be something entirely different. Middle will end up being pretty cool. But here, it's this side. I still have to cut the lip off on the end here. But that's kind of what it's going to be like. Like I said, I haven't made up my mind on this piece yet, but I wanted this to tilt back, and then we'll have another piece right up here, you know, to hold the pews in. This is an old BB gun, but this will kind of be like this. And then where these things meet, about a ½ inch right here, I've got buttstocks, and I'm going to go through and mark them, and then I'm going to kind of chisel out just a little bit to where this guy will sit down in them, and that way nothing is trying to fall, or it's going to end up being a lot of weight. That's why we got 2x12s, and all this will be braced, and this down here will end up looking kind of like a book cabinet. But it'll all be trimmed in the old wood. It'll all look old. But that's kind of what I've come up with so far. Let me get some more together, and then I'll bring you back. All right, so we got kind of curve coming around this way. This is the old wood. Then we're gonna have trim going up here, hiding all this. You won't see none of the holes for the screws. It'll all be trimmed out. But that's pretty much what I got. And like I said, this piece here, not 100% sure on what I'm gonna do with it yet. I don't know if I'm gonna bring it out even with the corner. Let's see if I can get it in view. Bring it out corner like here, or kind of round this over, or pull it out. And I honestly think I'm gonna pull it out, and I might even pull it out just a tad bit further than this one. Because I want this to be pretty grand, this whole section right here in the middle. I want to do something kind of special right there, and I'll show you what I've got, and you'll think it'll end up being pretty cool. But I got to get the pew racks ready first, so let me get these kind of secured in, and then I'll bring you back on the next step. All right, rounding the corners over on this, I am going to let it stick out some, and I'm just going to kind of knock it off. I want it to look hand done. Go. Now I gotta bolt this down and then we're gonna stain all this and rough it up, and we'll kind of roll the edges down, that way we're not getting splinters. And then I'll restain it and make it match, blend it in. But now what we're going to work on is this. So I have to carve out the little butt stocks in here and figure out how many pews I can line up. Probably looking at about 15, 12 to 15 is kind of what I'm wanting there. I mean, I could cram more than that in there, but I don't want to. Let me get them kind of laid out, and then I'll bring you back, and I'm going to secure this down. I've got to raise this side up. None of this wood is the same thickness, same size. It's all over the place, and you just got to work with what you got. That's kind of the cool thing about working with barn wood. You kind of, or old wood, you got to be precise, but you don't have to be precise. And you're going for the overall effect of it when you get done, not just a nice, pretty, pristine. You'll see. It'll look good. I'll be back here in a few. All right, this is kind of what we got. Like I said, I'm in behind this counter, but that's kind of what I'm looking for right there. And then on this side over here, instead of them being placed this way, they'll be placed this way. That way there's a row coming this way and then a row coming this way. But this is what I've done in order to get that tilt and to go up. I am going to be putting something up here to hold them, but I wanted a little bit more security on the bottom. So I basically chiseled out a spot for that buttstock to set into. So it's a little bit lower in the back, a little higher in the front, kind of gives it that tilt. And that was kind of what I needed. Now I need my next spacing, and then I'm pretty much good. I'm gonna quit working on this part, and I'm gonna start on this middle section. I have to hide this seam right here and the seam over there, and they don't line up because of the way we did the plywood and the end piece. So I have this one here, which is, you can see about 2.5 inches off of that one, and then this side is about 1 inch. So I'll just take a wider board, enough to cover that up, and go all the way to the top, and then that's what's going to hold the second layer and the next infill piece on here. And then I'll put something else on the screws going across on all 4 spots. You'll have something blocking them where you don't see the screws. But let me get this other piece laid out, and then I'll bring you back. All right, this is what we ended up with, and I'm by no means done. I cut these racks in, and they work pretty good. But like if you're gonna have a real short gun, which I've got several, these things work great for long guns. But I believe what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it somewhere's right in here, somewhere, and I'm gonna end up with 5 that I'm gonna lower down and put them like right in here, and do the same on this side, that, or I'll make something in the middle for those smaller guns. Still haven't decided. Handrail and stuff looks pretty good where it's curved. I mean, I'm gonna paint it all up and blend it all in, but I think that's sticking out and being like that's gonna be good. And we got the green, the old green board right here. It come out of the Hope Building in downtown Knoxville, and then we got the green up here as well. And we try to get it where you can see that guy. And we're gonna have a little bit more. I've got a few more boards that I'll probably put like right in here. I kind of tipped this thing in. My ideal originally was to have 2 rows. I'll point this way. Was to have another row sitting right in there and then going up. But when I got these Deadburn guns in here, man, some of the barrels on these things stick up 10 inches above the railing up there. So I believe what I'm going to end up doing, we're going to have a lot of ARs. And I have these little special brackets that I make, and the AR slides into them, and it locks into the. I'll just show you, but it locks into where the magazine goes, and I believe that's what I'm going to put up on this section up on top. But like right in here, I have some pretty cool stuff going on in here. It's gun related, but not really gun related. It's just when you think about it, our whole United States, since we're founded on firearms. That's how we got away from the British, and our whole everything to do with America is tied to firearms. Like it or not, some of you don't like it, but that's how it goes. And without firearms, you end up with communist, fascist, socialist. Firearms are good. That's all I got to say about politics right now. Well, let me get out of here, and this is going to be a long enough video on this one. Probably by the time you see this one, I'll have this thing done, and we'll be doing the second video on it. I'm going to make it a 2-parter, but I'll see you next time.